right, guys, it's that time. Captain America 4, Brave New World, one of my most anticipated films of 2025. There's been a lot of drama behind the scenes. Was it any good? Let's talk about it. And also, guys, if you want to skip ahead, there's timestamps down in the description box below. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and this is just my opinion. All right, guys, I actually think this is my first review of 2025. That's interesting right there. But this is Captain America 4 or Captain America Brave New World. And as you can tell, I was really looking forward to this film. PG-13 coming in at 1 hour and 58 minutes. This is being directed by Mr. Julius Ona. This is what the gentleman looks like right here. And also writer Malcolm Spellman is returning. He wrote some of the episodes for The Falcon and the Winter Soldier that came out on Disney Plus back in 2021, and he is back as well. But Julius Ona, like I said, this is what the gentleman looks like right here. If we scroll down and look at his filmography, he did do Loose. I did not see that film, but heard great things about it. The Cloverfield Paradox, I was not a fan of. The Girl is in Trouble and Big Man. If you've seen any of these other titles and you are well, what the hell is that, nigga? Okay, that kind of caught me off guard. But yeah, if you are a fan, wait a minute, I gotta check that out real quick. What is this? I hope I the tale of a young man struggle to establish. Okay, I'm gonna have to come back to that, but that did just kind of catch me off guard right there. But anyway, if you are a fan of Mr. Julius Ona and all of his work, please let me know down in the comment section below. Now, when it comes to my expectations for this film, they were mediocre, okay? I just wanted like a 7.5, 7 out of 10. And of course, I'll give my rating for this at the very end. And that's just because all the drama that was going on behind the scenes with all the reshoots and the early screenings and the test screenings, they're coming out saying that the movie is not that great, that it's boring, and the action scenes aren't that great or anything like that. Again, this movie went into production when Kevin Feige lost power in Marvel Studios. Now, again, I don't mean to say that like Kevin Feige is just invincible and he never makes mistakes, but he did lose power. This went into production under Bob Chapek. Movie tested, wasn't that great. Chapek still wanted to move forward. Kevin Feige did not, so they kind of clashed right there. Reshoots. We heard it was up to 350, 400 million, but turns out that it may have only been 180 million. And it's just been a bunch of drama that I don't even want to continue to go down behind the scenes. So my expectations were low. Also, we got all these haters that want this movie to fail just because Anthony Mackie is a black man representing America. So you had to deal with that group. And also just some of Anthony Mackie's commentary on what he feels the titular character Captain America represents. I understood what he said, but a lot of other people didn't. A lot of detractors and naysayers and haters and just people that are willfully dense. So all of that, my expectations were mediocre, and I just wanted this movie to do well because Anthony Mackie has never been in a leading role in Hollywood with a budget this big. I mean, not so many black men are with a budget this large. So just a lot of pressure, which was addressed in this movie. So before I get into all the nitty gritty, before I talk about all my likes and dislikes, and if it met my expectations, let me tell you exactly what this film, Captain America Brave New World, is all about. Sam Wilson, the new Captain America, finds himself in the middle of an international incident and must discover the motive behind a nefarious global plan. Now, guys, I'm gonna do something with this review that I normally don't do, and that's take notes. I didn't take any notes for this review because I feel that confident. And the reason why is because this is a really good damn movie. Yes, I am happy with the outcome of this film. And honestly, I am not disappointed in any way, shape at all. Real talk. In my fresh out of the theater reaction, I said that I feel confident with this film being in the top 15 of the whole MCU, and I still stand by that. I may have even enjoyed this more than Deadpool and Wolverine. Not saying that this movie is going to make as much as that film, but maybe it could if the word of mouth is that good and it gets around, but it really does deserve it. First thing that I liked about this film is the tone. During the marketing of this film, I don't remember who said it exactly. It may have been Kevin Feige. I don't think it was Julius Ona, but he said that they're trying to give around the same vibes as Captain America, the Winter Soldier, Captain America 2. And I will say that they succeeded in that. At the very least, as far as the seriousness of the film. Now, Marvel does get a lot of flack because they have so many jokes in their films, and that can really water down the moment when you're trying to come across badass and epic and all of this. It really is disappointing when they do that. The Russo brothers are the best at combining comedic moments during serious moments in the MCU films, but a lot of times they do drop the ball there. That is not the case with Brave New World. There are only a handful of jokes in this film, and all of them land except for one. The one that doesn't land, it wasn't corny, it did not ruin the film, but I did say to myself, okay, that was unnecessary. Y'all did not have to do that. It was a very serious moment between two characters that was having a heart-to-heart, and it was really touching, and it was a nice surprise, and they just had to throw a little joke in there at the end. It didn't ruin the moment, but at the same time, I was saying to myself, okay, that was unnecessary. But going back to the general tone of the whole film, I will say, yes, it does match Winter Soldier and Civil War as far as your entertainment value is considered and or keeping your attention. Now, I'm not saying that the movie is as good as Winter Soldier or Civil War, and I'm not saying that this movie just blows it out the water. Like Winter Soldier for me was damn near perfect. Winter Soldier was like a 9.5 out of 10. I really can't even think of any negatives right now. I mean, it was perfect. Top 3. This is in the top 15. It's up there. It could compete. This is a worthy Captain America sequel, and I really did love it. The next thing that I liked about this film is the action, and to be specific, talking about Anthony Mackie going around as Captain America trying to kick butt. A lot of people were concerned, rightfully so, like how is he gonna go against the Hulk? And we're gonna talk about that towards the end. How is he gonna go against this person, and he doesn't have the super soldier serum? And that crossed my mind too, especially with the Thunderbolts trailer dropping recently, the new trailer dropping recently, and we have that film coming out in May. Bucky has a super soldier serum. Red Guardian, John Walker, all these people have the super soldier serum and Sam doesn't in this film, but he is still able to kick ass. Now, he does get beat up a little bit, but it's not embarrassing. You're not gonna be like, oh my God, we can't have Captain America getting his ass whooped like this. What's going on, Sam? Take the serum, take the serum, take the serum. It's not like that at all. It just makes it more realistic and grounded that, okay, he's just not invincible. You know, he's fighting at a lower level than Steve Rogers because Steve Rogers does have the super soldier serum. Sam does not, but he is still able to represent. And the reason, another reason I like it, the way he is fighting is they show how he trained. From the last time we saw him in Winter Soldier, the last time we saw him in the Falcon in the Winter Soldier, till we see him now. You can easily put together, okay, this person has been training, or Sam has been training with this person and doing these techniques. Okay, it makes so much sense why he can beat ass and still hold his own against people that are even bigger than him that are not super soldiers. So that is very, very realistic right there as well. Another thing that surprised me, and I'm not saying that I like this about the movie, I was expecting it, but they didn't deliver, is I was thinking that this movie was gonna have a ton of racial issues in it, and it doesn't. They barely, if at all, touched on race at all, and I was surprised by that. Now, if you are a Black person, there is a scene or two that you can possibly relate to more than anybody else that is not Black or anything like that, but it's not heavy-handed. It's not on the nose. It's not forced or shoehorned in, like we gotta check all the boxes and everybody's complaining right now about DEI and woke and stuff, and I used that term once and people, my bad, y'all, but the people that wanna call all of MCU woke, I dare you it's impossible. You a damn liar. You are a liar. If you try to come out and say that this movie is woke, you lying. You rage baiting, you just trying to get clicks and stuff. Now, you can come back and say that you don't like the movie or that this didn't work for you or if that didn't work for you, that's fine. It's all subjective. But for you to come back and say like the movie is woke, lies, I'm being fair, guys. Anybody, if you hear anybody that's saying that, don't listen to them. Okay. Now, I'm not saying don't listen to nobody that's saying that they don't like the movie. I'm talking about woke in particular. So, you know, you don't gotta worry. I mean, the closest thing, they had a very nice hands up, don't shoot type scenario. but it was earned. It was not forced. I was like, okay, this is some real stuff right here, and it's warranted. It fit within the plot seamlessly, and I have no complaints there. Also, after watching this movie right here, we're talking about Mr. Carl Lumbly, okay, Mr. Isaiah Bradley. After seeing this film, we have to get a Disney Plus show of him being experimented on in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, or whatever. Him going to Korea, him us seeing all of his missions, and it's like because he represented in this film too. He did a great job. I love the relationship. I love the dynamic that he and Sam Wilson, Anthony Mackie had in this film, and also Torres, the dude that's coming through this playing Falcon. Now, I talked about jokes earlier and said that okay, now that I think about it, there was some dialogue in between Torres and Lumbly, so I was okay, like, what are you doing here? But it didn't like ruin anything for me. But Carl Lumbly, Isaiah Bradley was dope in this film. He was in it a lot, but not, he was in the film more than I expected, but it was a good thing. It was a positive. Anytime Isaiah Bradley was in the film, it elevated the movie. It got you in your emotions and made you feel for the characters and sympathize like, God, dog, man, when is this man gonna get justice? He has sacrificed so much, minding his own business, and trouble keeps knocking at his door, and he just doesn't deserve it. So you care about his character in that sense, like all throughout the film, and I want to see more of Isaiah Bradley. Now, we can also talk about Danny Ramirez coming through as Joaquin Torres. He is the sidekick of Anthony Mackie, Captain America. He did his thing too. He had more of the jokes and comedic moments and lighthearted moments in the film, and for the most part, they delivered. I liked him. He was a great addition to the film. Could the film still have succeeded without him being in the movie? Yes, but he didn't draw the movie back. Again, he added to it. He added to the action. And also, if you want to see movies with just more people on the rainbow, black, white, brown, I mean, there you go. You know what I'm saying? There's your checklist right there. But it worked. It worked. I care for his character. At times where he was in action, he was doing his thing. He was representing. He could fight. He can throw down. He had respect for Sam. And let's go back to Sam. I was going into this film. No, I don't want to say that. That may be a spoiler, but I like the position that Sam had in this film as far as how the people viewed him. Sam had respect in this movie. He really did, and he earned it. And I know a lot. Another thing is, not only did he show it too, like I have said this in a ton of films, and it just seems generic, like, oh, this guy's a leading man, and he walks into the room, he commands authority, and everybody turn their head and look, and he just all swole. There was one, and it's in the trailers. It is in the trailers where Sam has his suit and he's walking through the bunker. That was a powerful scene right there. Sam was like, get the F out of my way. I will break your face if you do not move. And it wasn't, it was, I was convinced. I was like, yeah, get the hell out of this man's way. He is serious. Like he like, come on, it's Anthony. Is okay. I like Anthony Mackie. Anthony Mackie has never looked scrawny or anything like that, or like a weakling. Anthony Mackie has always looked like he can handle himself. But I've never looked at Anthony Mackie like, okay, damn, like get out the way, he gonna beat your ass, But in this particular scene here, that's what I was like, it's kind of like Debo, and everybody, okay, my bad, go to that. That's how, and I was like, whoa, where did this come from, Anthony Mackie? All right, yes, you were leading this movie. Again, after, I'm all over the place, but I don't care. So I'm confident Sam Wilson can lead the Avengers. If you was worried about that, don't be worried no more. He can lead the Avengers in Doomsday, not Quantum, what the hell are we talking about? Doomsday, Secret Wars, if they bring Jonathan Majors back, Kang Dynasty, I am confident about what Anthony Mackie can do in a leading role. Now, I want to step away from him real quick. I want to talk about now Giancarlo Esposito. He was in the film a good amount as well, and I liked him. He was a badass. I was worried, like, how you going to take Giancarlo Esposito and not just give him some big role to where he's coming back in the MCU over and over and over again? He may be able to do that, and based on this film right here, but he was good. He was a worthy villain that, you know, when as soon as he popped up, be like, okay, this man right here, I can really see why somebody called him to get the job done or to accomplish this mission. If you know if you want something done, he needs to be on speed dial. He is really good at killing people and being efficient. And it was his character too. He is playing somebody by the name of Sidewinder from the Serpent Society, and I'm not too familiar with that group of villains in the comic, and I don't know if it's accurate, but there was nothing weak about Giancarlo Esposito's role in this. It was brief, but when he was on screen, he did deliver the goods. He did, and I'm really satisfied as far as that's concerned too. Let's talk about Harrison Ford real quick. Harrison Ford is Harrison Ford. He's great. But what I like about Harrison Ford is it did not seem like it was just Harrison Ford playing Harrison Ford. Now, when Samuel Jackson is playing a role, it does seem like he's playing the same character all the time or majority of the time, but that's not a bad thing. No, I still enjoy it. It's great. But with Harrison Ford, it actually felt like he was Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. William Hurt, rest in peace, my guy. We will miss you. But Thaddeus Ross in the 2008 Hulk film had a very raspy, rugged voice. And Harrison Ford took that on and he did the best that he could. And he did a great job with that. So I don't feel like Harrison Ford, you know, was just Harrison, you know, did like, oh, that's just Harrison Ford. It actually felt like the character from 2008. So they did a great job there. This movie is also somewhat of a direct sequel to the 2008 Incredible Hulk film. And that's not a bad thing either. It just kind of like, hey, if you want to know what was going on between 2008 and 2025, we're going to give you a nice little rundown. And, you know, here you go, you know, microwave dinner. Actually, one of my only, I don't even want to say this is a complaint, just something that I noticed is some of the dialogue in this film at the very beginning, it was obvious to me that they were trying to cater to people that hasn't seen the entire MCU, that haven't seen all the movies, that haven't seen all the Disney Plus shows. And it's like, okay, what y'all are saying, you guys on screen would already know this information. You know, if you're in the know, which y'all are, you are part of the government, you're part of the army, you're part of the Marines, you're part of this special group, you're part of the Avengers, you're part of Sokovia Accord. So y'all would already know this information that you're divulging back and forth. Y'all are clearly just saying this for the audience. And so, you know, that may be like a little nitpick there that some people may, you know, want to chomp at. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not knocking you for that at all, but that is just something that I did notice. Now, another thing about this film that I really did like, and it did better than any other MCU film, is the score. This was some of the best, and it really did help with the tone of the film. If you look at the clip that was released online, where it is Harrison Ford's character, Thaddeus Ross, the president, and Anthony Mackie, Captain America Sam, in the office, and he's trying to rebuild the Avengers. Go back and look at that listen to that sound. It's like kind of like an eerie string violin type thing. Or I don't know. I'm not an expert with instruments, but you have that all throughout the movie, but it's like all over the place. And it really just kind of grounds it in this like suspense thriller type tone. And you're really, really eating it up. But there's like a lot of music, a lot of composition, a lot of scoring in this. And that really does help out with the pacing. Now, as far as the pace, there was never a boring or dull moment for me at all. As far as the editing is concerned, there was a couple of scenes where you can kind of tell there was some reshoots, and Sam did kind of get a new suit out of nowhere. You know, like he had the white suit like this at the beginning, but then towards the end of the film, you know, he had, you know, another suit. I kind of wish they kind of addressed it, but not really, you know, and I'm like, I think that was just kind of like an editing reshoot thing, and they were trying to condense it down and just kind of doing the best they could. They could have fleshed it out, but you know, that's just kind of like a little nitpick right there. I have another nitpick, which I will get to in just a second, but I'm just trying, okay. Now we got to talk about the action. The fighting was dope as hell. It was lovely. I love the way that it was choreographed. They really did iron everything out on a board and made sure that all these punches and kicks made sense. What I like about it is, for one, we got to see Sam fight with the wings, with the shield, with all of his equipment and gear, and it was badass. And I'll talk about that in a second. But we also got to see him fight with no equipment at all. And he can still fight. I mean, we get 3 levels of fighting, just him with nothing at all, Sam just with the shield, and then Sam with all his gear. And I liked it all. And what I like about it is there were just moments in time to where he was struggling. but he would use all of his surroundings at his advantage to come out on top. I mean, it was one point to where people were like taking his weapons away from him, and he really had to be innovative at the last minute to seize the day and not lose this fight and get his ass whooped. And I like that. I mean, think about it. Sam does not have a suit to where he can just wear it 24/7. I mean, you know, in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we saw him fixing the boat with his sister, going here, driving in a truck. What is he gonna do when somebody attacks him right then and there? You know what I'm saying? I mean, at least Steve Rogers has a super soldier serum, so he can dodge or just something like that. But or you know, they have the nanotech and the Black Panther or Iron Man that can zoop, the suit come on. Sam can't do that. And this film did take advantage of those situations, and it made the movie that much more entertaining. Now, as far as him in the wingsuit, ooh man, that was badass. They was doing all types of hella combinations with that wing and the shield and the two Red Wings. And oh my gosh, Red Wing was such an ally. The way the stuff that they was doing with the shield in the wings and Red Wing, it's gonna blow you away. I was in the movie not like, yes, yes, that's nice right there. Get him. Even when Sam is going supersonic through the air, the way they were doing the camera, the way it would just kind of shoot down, like I was like, oh, and this is an IMAX too. Like, man, I've never experienced this before. This is a good movie. This is a good. I really am happy with this film. Like, damn, I'm satisfied. And again, oh, I cannot wait to talk about this in the spoiler review. What they was doing with the shield, that was dope. Now let me see here, man. Okay. I talked about the music. I talked about the score. I talked about the fighting in and out the suit. I talked about Torres. I talked about the action. The plot makes sense. The plot is pretty good. I really like that. As far now, we noticed from the trailers how Isaiah all of a sudden, you know, lost his mind and he went over here and trying to execute the president and all that stuff. They handled all that pretty well. We got some new characters in here that I can talk about later. There's one person by the name of Ruth Bat Sarath. Her real name is Shira Haas. She was dope too. I liked her, man. This was this was a good movie. This was a damn good movie, man. I talked about the action. Yeah, it's really entertaining, man. It really is. I like the global scale, just the way they address the Celestials, all that, man. I'm a happy camper. Now, let me get to that's going to sum up all my positives. Let me just transition to some things that didn't really work out for me. It comes with the leader. I am not in love with the leader. First of all, the look. They don't show it on the trailers, but we see how he looks. And I'm 50-50 on the look. I'm 50-50 on the look. What I do like, though, is the continuation of the story from 2008. I do like that. And, you know, it's not that I didn't like the leader. It was just, for me, the weakest point of the film. They could have, I kind of got to, because it was one point I was watching, I was like, okay, that doesn't make sense and that doesn't make sense. If you've been doing this whole time, why the hell did you not do this right here? I had to wait about 10 or 15 minutes and then they came back and addressed it. I was like, okay, that makes sense right there. Like, it was this one scene like, okay, if y'all cut this out the movie, you know, the whole may not have made sense at all. I was like, okay, ooh, I'm glad they addressed that, you know. But it's just, the leader was, it was cool. It could have been stronger. Just the way they kind of connected some dots here and there, it could have been stronger. And also the journey that we got to Red Hulk could have been a little bit stronger as well. They could have tweaked it a little bit more. I'm just saying, it's in the trailer, you know, Harrison Ford turns into the Hulk. Just how he turned into the Hulk, they could have tweaked it just a little bit. Now, the fight between Hulk and Sam, Captain America, it was nice. It was nice. It was badass. It was well thought out. A lot of people were complaining, like, how is he gonna fight the Hulk without no super? See the movie. Watch the movie. Maybe he beats the Hulk. Maybe he beats the Hulk up. Maybe it's a tie. Maybe Hulk beats up Sam, and the whole time Sam is just trying to escape and evade or save people's lives from the Hulk. You don't know. You got to see the film. But I am satisfied with the Hulk versus Sam Wilson. Like, I'm satisfied across the board in this film 100%, except for the leader. Except for the leader and maybe a joke or two that was unnecessary. Again, I am not saying that the leader was weak no, excuse me. I'm not saying that the leader was bad or horrible. It just wasn't as crisp and clean and seamless as all the other elements in this movie. There is a post-credit scene at the very end. There's not one in the middle. There's not one in the middle. There's not one in the middle. So as soon as the movie ends, if you got to run to the bathroom, you can come back. The post-credit scene is fine. It's not a joke. It's not a joke or anything like that. It pushes the story forward in a very vague way. It's not. I mean, it's not bad, but it ain't all that. You know what I'm saying? Like if you miss it, it ain't that big a deal. You know, if you want to stay, you can check it out. Now, I'm trying to think, man. Is there anything else that I want to talk about? But this movie was good, man. This movie was good. Now, guys, I'll give my rating for this at the very end. I did do a fresh out of the theater. No, what am I talking about? I did do a rewatch of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier in anticipation for this film. So while you're waiting for it to come out, if you do want to watch me react to or rewatch reaction to The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, all 6 episodes, that is uploaded to my channel right now. And again, I will have a spoiler review for you guys Thursday, Friday when the film releases to the general public. So, you know, when you walk out, you'll have my spoiler review ready. May have multiple. And I am ready to give my rating, guys. And so if I had to rate Captain America 4, Brave New World, out of a 1 out of 10, I would easily give this a solid 8.5 out of 10. A solid 8.5 out of 10. It's I like this film better than Captain America First Avenger that came out in 2011. I may have liked this movie better than Deadpool and Wolverine. I feel confident saying that this is in the top 15 of the MCU. And again, you know, you got Avengers 1, Infinity War, Endgame, Iron Man 1, Winter Soldier, Civil War, Deadpool and Wolverine, Black Panther, the first Ant-Man. I even like Ant-Man 2. That's 10 movies right there. Then you got to consider all the Spider-Man movies too, if you want to consider those. We're gonna throw some Guardians of the Galaxy in there. So it ain't. I won't go as far as saying top 10, but top 15. And you know what? If somebody were to say that this movie was in the top 10, I wouldn't even argue with them. I really wouldn't. I'd be like, that's cool. I respect that. You know, you're entitled to your opinion. You know what I'm saying? So go see this movie. It is worth it, man. It is worth it. It is worth it. It is worth it. Anthony Mackie did a great job. You know, everybody needs to be proud. Like, real talk. This is great. So I'm gonna work on my sport. Well, no, I'm chilling now. I'm gonna work on some other stuff. But guys, thank y'all so much for. I feel like I'm just forgetting something, but if I'll make another video. But guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that I'm B. Avery. That's just my opinion. Peace, and I'll see you next time.